founder of ascribe.org, a newswire service that provides public interest news to the press throughout the United States. Ron, how are you today?
Good evening, Michael.
You're Mr. Press. You heard my interview with Paul Leto.
Right.
And he brought out what he believes, and I have to concur, that the U.S. voting system is really damaged considerably.
Right. If
you
they
don't
can't
think so?
catch spammers, if they can't catch phishers, if they can't stop credit card fraud, it's very likely that they can't catch the people tampering with voting machines.
You think it's very difficult to do that?
Very difficult. I'm no defender of the press, but one of the big problems they have these days is they've been losing advertisers, readers, viewers to the internet, and their revenue's declining, and they've all been cutting staff. And so there are fewer people out there to do stories than ever. And worse, they're losing the best and brightest. So there's a real brain drain in the newsroom. They just don't have the horses to do it like they used to. This is very tough reporting to do. It's hard evidence to compile. If attorneys general can't get it, and attorneys for the political parties can't get it, what's a newspaper reporter to do without subpoena power and all the rest? So those are problems. There's no advertising constituency for that kind of reporting. The newspapers, the car dealers want lots of sports pages, and the entertainment industry wants entertainment pages, but there's no advertising constituency for that kind of investigation.
So why write about this major democratic civic issue when there are no one wants to? Debo's not going to advertise for
there's a real
systems
problem there. For 30 years, the press has been bashed by certain forces for political bias. And I think they've become quite gun-shy in that period. So they're in a position where they would much prefer to sit back and have this party feud with this party, and the press will cover the battle between them. But they don't want to be in a position where there's this party, no opposition, and they have to be the ones that are in opposition to a political force. It's gotten them in trouble in the past. So what I would say to those who are worried about election fraud is they have to put up a very, very stiff opposition, and then they get coverage. There's an old line that God helps those who help themselves, and so it is with the press. The press helps those who help themselves. And they would much rather cover that fight between the two forces than to be one of the fighting forces themselves.
Ron, succinct, right to the heart of the matter. And I'm going to have to end the show. Thank you very much. My guest is Ron Wolf, president of ascribe.org.